Hello everyone, my name is Madina Agazhan and the title of my research is Challenges of Science Teachers on Teaching Content in English at the Mainstream School. The purpose of the study is to identify main issues of teachers in the process of teaching content in English at the Mainstream School. Research questions. First question is what was the perception of science teachers on requirements to teach their subjects in English? Second question, how do teachers cope with difficulties in teaching process? About the significance of research, studying trilingualism from school curriculum improves the quality of education to the level of world standards and educate scientifically literate citizens. Second is a shift to modern way of teaching method in education system from traditional method. Third one is the main challenges of teachers and learners in the process of education. Fourth one is the alternative ways of solution listed problems of teachers at the mainstream school. And last one is the effectiveness of training courses that provided for STEM teachers. And in this part I will explain the perception, opinions and the experiences of science teachers during the training course. The main objectives of this research is to define teachers' perception on the requirements of Ministry of Education. Second one is to identify challenges which they face during their learning and the teaching process. Third one is to investigate teacher solutions with difficulties in teaching content in English at the mainstream school. So the next part is about the literature review. Here listed authors and their materials were mentioned in my research paper. In my literature review was mentioned the clear definition of terms science, scientific literacy, STEM subjects, content-based instruction, and also the work of journalists about the trilingualism in Kazakhstani educational system. So now I want to briefly explain the term STEM and scientific literacy. The term STEM stands from science, technology, engineering and math. In the international conference STEM Forward, researchers investigated that attracting children to STEM should begin from early preschool age and it's necessary to be taught in English since it's the language of science. And the term scientific literacy was introduced by Hurt in 1958. That understanding information about science and analyzing different resources helped to build a general sense of being scientifically literate. And the scientific literacy helps to develop skills such as problem solving, critical thinking, and other digital skills. About trilingualism or the unity of three languages, by commission of Nursultan Nazarbayev from the 2007 and the 2008 school year initiated the program of studying trilingualism from the school curriculum. In April 2015, after the commission, Nursultan Nazarbayev he instructed the Ministry of Education and Science to develop a roadmap of trilingualism in Kazakhstani educational system. About methodology and the data collection part, I used qualitative method and I had an interview with 5 semi-structured questions. About my participants, I conducted an interview with 5 STEM teachers from mainstream school named after Lev Nikolaevich Tolstoy, and there are collected teachers of chemistry, biology, ICT, and the 2 teachers of physics at the age 30 and 35. English level before the attending course were elementary and the pre-intermediate levels, and after finishing the course they had an intermediate, and some of teachers developed further the English level. About limitations of my research was the time arrangement was one of the difficult part of taking interviews with participants due to current situation, and at the beginning of the school term our interviews were postponed another time, and 2 teachers refused to participate in the research due to personal problems, and before an interview some of teachers didn't accept the importance of research and tried to cancel participation in the reason of conducting through a video call. About interview results, I like the one teacher's answer about the perception of modern regulation and trilingualism, and the answer was happening challenges before the changes is a natural that raises our curiosity for better development. And all of teachers interpreted their viewpoint about the beneficial sides of modern regulation. And one of the mentioned and repeated answer was learning STEM subjects from school curriculum raises learners' awareness about the content and improves the language proficiency through the wide sources about the science in English. And the mainstream school doesn't provide specific requirements and the better conditions to learn English effectively. It was one of the challenges that faced our teachers at the mainstream school and in the teaching process, because they happened the division of levels, and most of the learners couldn't understand content clearly. So, about the 9 months of training course, participants highlighted the significance of group work, competitions, workshops with special guests, meeting with native speakers, and during the course, they improved their four language skills: speaking, listening, writing, and reading. And the challengeable parts during the training course, or first one is memorization of words is difficult considering their ages and the term of STEM subjects. Next one is mispronouncing words cause some challenges as misunderstanding and confusion. Third one is in the beginning the code switching happened during the explanation. And the last one is grammatical mistakes led to the misunderstanding between teachers and the instructors. So here listed challenges, and the teachers provided ways of solutions of this problem. So first problem was a lack of materials and books for teaching the content in English. As a solutions, teacher used subsidiary aids, authentic materials, and active group work where all members try to correct each other's mistakes and learn better. Second one is different language levels of students. At school, most of English teachers helped to cope with this problem, but different level still creates a dilemma. Third problem, finding sources and creating proper materials and tasks were in the list of challenges. Teacher as a solutions used authentic materials, prepared flashcards to teach new terms, usage of apps Quizlet and Kahoot to create an interesting atmosphere for learners. And the next one is no feedback and the attention from parents' side. Also, for this reason, some students do not practice at home. And as a solutions, teacher arranged parents' meetings also that caused some challenges and tried to make a strong bond between teachers, students, and parents. Last one is a small quantity of technical devices at the mainstream school. As a solutions, teachers replace with own laptops, mobile phones of learners to engage them into the learning process. Teachers generalized the outcomes of trilingualism in these listed fields. First one is the expanding of children's point of view and the improvement critical thinking, problem solving, and the collaborative skills. Access to the broad information and materials from around the world. Third one is to construct the personalities of children to be citizens of the world for successful communication with foreigners. And the overall participants had a positive opinion and agreed with modern regulation about the trilingualism. So, in conclusion, I want to say that according to teachers' answers, they were proved positive opinions about the idea of Nursultan Nazarbayev to teach STEM subjects in English from the school curriculum. Apart from challenges, teachers mentioned all beneficial sides and advantages for future of learners. The sharing with wider information from 9 months of training course gave a clear view to understand the process of preparation of teachers. And if we compare with our literature review and the findings, everything was covered and proved in our finding data collection part. So And the teachers mentioned about the flexibility, that flexibility is one of the main requirements of 21st century skills, and the acceptance of modern regulation helps to adapt for teachers and for learners into the process. Teaching STEM subjects in English was the new way of development yourself as a flexible teacher and adapt to changes.